Hey everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Rebel Moon Theory. In the very first episode of Rebel Moon Theory, we're going to be talking about the Dreadnought. Before we begin, please leave a like in the video, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get started. In Rebel Moon, the Dreadnought is the Motherworlds flagship destroyers, which are also carriers for land vehicles, aircraft such as mechs, Imperium dropships, and Imperium troops, ready to fight in the battle. One Dreadnought that we will be focusing on is the King's Gaze. During the construction of the King's Gaze, which can be seen in Rebel Moon Part 2, was named as Peacemaker by Princess Issa, as this would be her first official act. Instead of the Motherworld continuing to bring in destruction, including conquering other planets as the Motherworld is known for, this new Dreadnought battlecruiser would bring peace to the galaxy. Unfortunately, this was all taken to a huge halt when Senator Belisarius murdered the entire royal family in cold blood in the engine room. Now we're going to be taking a look at all the locations that can be found in the King's Gaze itself. First going to be looking at the conning tower, which is basically ran by Admiral Atticus Noble and in second command Cassius. This cylinder-like transmitter is used to send out transmissions or reports, whether it is from Admiral Atticus Noble, Cassius, or even some that are sent out by Imperium troops or Hawkshaws. This next room, known as the gunner chamber, is commanded by the gunner commander, aka Brett Colbert himself, controls the two cannons of the King's Gaze, which are named Sword of the King. Sword of the King is controlled using two steering wheels, the one in the middle which is used to turn the two cannons either to the right or the left, and the steering wheel on the right is basically used to upper or lower the two cannons whenever they're ready to fire. And the goggles in the middle are basically to show insight where the two cannons are aiming at. And that grip handle to the left is the trigger used to fire the cannons themselves. When the two cannons are fired, they shoot out this powerful magma that can be ranged to 1,000 miles in diameter, which is powerful enough to completely destroy mountains, forests, and even cities. These two cannons can be used to completely destroy an entire civilization and cultures that have aged out throughout 10,000 years. So you basically wouldn't want to see a Dreadnought like this hovering over your planet. Next up is the Chiro chamber. The Chiro chamber is basically where Admiral Atticus Noble receives all the medical attention, repairs, and even improvements after he has been done a tons amount of damage or even had to take a lot of blows. For example, in Rebel Moon Part 1, Admiral Atticus Noble can be seen laying down to some rocks after surviving a bunch of blows from Cora herself. After the medical technicians find Admiral Atticus Noble, they send him to the Chiro chamber to put him onto this plated-like tub that also sends him down to Belisarius himself, and will also have to be later on tested by the medical technicians to make sure that Admiral Atticus Noble is in full condition to be in command again. Next up is the engine room. Each Dreadnought contains a goddess-like being known as the Cowlies, which the Cowlies' power is used for fast travel for the Dreadnoughts, and usually takes about 3 days for the Cowlies to fully charge after the travel has been used. The travels are controlled by the scribes themselves, and the Cowlie is also fed remains that are placed into a furnace that is basically forcing to be put into the Cowlies. The docking bay is where all the ships and mechs are usually kept, such as the Imperium dropships, the fast attack ship, the mechs, and even the mech carriers. Even though these are the ships that are kept onto the floor of the King's Gaze, Hawkshaw ships are also allowed to enter the docking bay as well, even when delivering bounties. And last but certainly not least, we do have the Bow of the King's Gaze, which can be used to lay out the fast attack launch ship to be used to go to other parts of the galaxy.